if they let their celebrity status or whatever you want to call it get to them or not, or
Right.
who's real down to earth people. Just able to tell. Just able to. So, should we say anything about mid-February, or should we keep that under wraps?
It's up to you. It's up to you. I'm good either way. You know.
Well,
Come, y'all done said something now. Come on. Now,
oh no, I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna let you worry for a little bit. We got some motivating American stuff going around, and might be doing a little shoot down in Orlando. I know I talked to Anthony. We're gonna do a little bit down in Panama. We're gonna be traveling around a little bit. You know, time to take all this damn hate out of. You know, that was something we was talking about last night. Too much damn hate, too much animosity, too much going at each other's throats over nothing. You know, it's just too much. So it's time to pump the smiles back out. And so far, so good. Next Wednesday, we'll be having a little bit of gear. I'm not selling anything. It'll just be kind of like a handout. And we're going to be hitting the streets. Well, I got to get into my place this weekend, but if we got time, we'll be hitting the streets of downtown this weekend. But it's like we might be seeing Orlando for the first time coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. It's definitely gonna be fun, and you know, just getting into some stuff, and actually, you know, actually getting to meet you in person, you know, and be in the studio. I'm looking forward to, brother.
That's the part that I get nervous about. It's definitely can't wait to get to see you, man. You know, we that's one thing about social media and everything today, man.
It's really nothing to be nervous about. Like, you know, it's too easy, you know. And this is one thing I had to learn too. A couple years ago, I was invited to the studio, and you know, when I got there, it was this crazy Hollywood mansion, right? And I ended up being in a room with the two producers who they produced. You know, Nelly, the rapper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They produced these two guys. One is his brother, and the other one is this guy J.E. And they produced his whole country grammar album, and they had just received their Diamond Award, maybe a month prior. And I'm in the studio with them two in this Hollywood mansion, and they want me to start a session. And you know, once you realize it's just being in the studio, just music, and you know, even if you're, you know, still learning, you know, it's music is something that should make you feel good and not nervous. And that's one thing you have to remember, just being in the studio, just you know. But it's really easy, you know, because I like to teach. I like to teach when it comes to engineering, which is the studio side, you know, not so much the music side, but the studio side. You know, when I went to school, the one thing I was really good at is translating what the teacher was saying and what the books were saying into a way that I could understand it. And once I did that, it made it so much easier when I would teach other people. And, you know, I might not be the greatest musician, but when it comes to the studio, that one just comes so much easier. So, yeah, you got nothing to worry about, because if you're nervous, you'll leave so much more confident.
Oh, man, I was watching a lot of videos on Pro Tools last night. So many.
You know, but they make them kind of complicated, because it's really not as hard. You know, there's no need to have a video. It's simple. But if they're giving you all the information rather than, you know, starting you with some good information, then you just get overloaded with too much information. So there's a couple tools that'll just elevate your game so much more when it comes to Pro Tools. And though it doesn't even take that many steps, it's just a few things will clean up a lot, you know. But but that's I'll show you, brother. It just, you know, I'm not saying that there's not a lot to it, but you know, a little bit at a time will definitely improve a lot.
That's what we messing around with Audacity for the first time, man. Them people that make them videos make it seem so hard, and after I just played with it for a while, it's just oh, this shit's really easy. But
Well, yes, especially when they have like a British accent, it makes it that much harder, to you're like, wait, this already sounds complicated because he's speaking in a British accent. I don't get it. It's like all any video on like studio, you always have like a British accent as the what you call it, the voice of yeah. So it always makes it sound like that much more complicated, but it's really not.
Well, we gotta trust the teacher. Gotta trust the teacher. So, what you thinking, Jay? What's on your mind? What'd you see this weekend? How's the pup doing?
Oh, he's doing really good. He's grown. Like I didn't see him for a week, and it's like he's already halfway an adult now. It seems like he went from being this little fur ball to like this big ankle biter now.
I told you that dog grow quick.
Yeah, he's cute as can be though. He whines a lot though. We took him to see my mom, and he was like whining the whole time. I was like, oh my God, it's like having a baby again.
Hey, if there's any vets out there that's looking to get a service dog, y'all go to Canine for Veterans Facebook page and get a hold of those guys. Regina and Michael take great care of you. We got Randall hooked up with him. He's getting him a pup. I think on the 14th of April, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll be riding up there with him. But man, if anybody needs a service dog, and you got to be true about it. You know what I'm saying? You can't just want one. I mean, they're gonna go through your paperwork, stuff like that, make sure everything's legit because they put a lot of hard ass work into this, and Mike does an amazing job.
Yeah.
So.
Where is Ghost this morning?
I don't know. I texted him. He's probably asleep. Yeah, he's been working a lot with this group here lately, and
Yeah.
sometimes I take a toll. You know how that is, Aries. Sometimes you just can't sleep. You know what I mean? Sometimes it just don't happen, and when you do, bam, you're gone.
Well, yeah. I mean, the night. I'm telling you, the morning comes so quick because I know I fell asleep around like 3:00. That was like the last time I looked at my phone. And then the next day I know I'm waking up at 5:50 to wake up my son for school. So I definitely feel you when it comes to sleep.
Hell yeah.
I had to get me a cup of coffee before the show because I'm just glad we're not doing like a video thing like we did yesterday because, man, I look like shit today.
Oh, trust me. I'm glad we don't do videos either because half the time my hair is way up there somewhere.
Well, Big Chris has got Fully Loaded coming. Yeah, we did like a winged episode last night. So we'll have some live streaming coming up here. With a couple of shows and shit like that. Morning show will stay like this.
Okay, good.
It's radio.
I'll have to get up an extra hour earlier if not.
Now when I get the studio done, I might, I got a couple ideas to play around with or whatnot. I'm actually looking forward to it. It gives me something else to learn, something else to do, and whatnot. Get to learn from people like you, Aries, and my manager and stuff like that. So it's a different endeavor. It's never thought I'd.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun because it's one of those things where once you kind of get like an understanding of it, then the rest is up to just practicing, and you realize like you're having so much fun when you're practicing, like just trying to find like your sound and just tweaking things here and there. And that's why like people will send me stuff to listen to and say, what do you think of this sound? And I'll be like, well, it's actually really good. It doesn't sound anything like my mixes. And it's still a good thing, because everybody has their own ear, like their ears are their judges, and they might hear something differently than I would. And so there's really, like they say, there's really no wrong way to mix, and unless it's wrong, and you'll know if it's wrong. You'll know if it's really wrong,
Oh yeah.
But you have more chances to get it right, than you do get it wrong. I mean, that's what I think.
Oh yeah, that's what's up. Definitely can't wait to play around with that. That's when we got the place at, and and you never ever find this, but the walk-in closet has turned into a huge ass office. It's not very often you find. I was like, that is so perfect. I was like, y'all mind if I do this, 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 and this, and this? And she looked at me like, are you serious? I was like, I'm dead serious. It's like, yeah, sure, go for it. Have fun. So, oh yeah, most definitely. Jake, questions, thoughts? What rainbow did you see this weekend?
I don't know. I'm still half asleep. I was just looking at Ron's text. He's always got something funny to say. I was like, Playboy or Radio Tech? What?
Well, if you kind of go back on my page, Anthony kind of got me a little bit with the Playboy thing. It's kind of funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I must
It's a funny thing. It's a funny thing. I'd rather it be Playboy than Playgirl. You know, I'm in with the hot.
Yeah.
I'm in with the hot ones. You know,
oh my goodness.
Yeah, that cover definitely would have sold millions.
I don't know about millions, but you know, you definitely want to. You know, it's shit like that, man. Thank God for my Jinkos and stuff, man, because I try not to go out there in the daytime, because people just know. You know, even if they don't say anything, people know. They'll be on their freaking phones and be like, look. I'm just like, oh, God, get out of here. Come on. Let's go. All right, now, not right now. Yeah, I don't know if I told you this story, but I tell my daughter to get them. And I got to go back to this place to get my son stuff now. But Sprint store down the road from Jade went in. Two Marines started geeking out. My daughter looked at me and she's like, Dad, are they gay? And I was like, no, honey, they're not gay. I was like, just wait till we get in the truck and I'll explain. Yeah, I told her a couple of things while we were in there, but it's funny, man. You don't realize how much of an impact you really put on people. You don't think about it in your hometown. 'Cause it's everywhere, but you never know. But that's what we want, though, man. We want to make that good impact on everybody. So, you know, y'all got to stay motivated, stay positive, find something that makes you happy, and don't say nothing about it. Go be about it. Do it. Don't think about doing it. Get up and fucking do it. So.
Yeah, and you know that's kind of why, like, even with Redcon One Music is like, you know, we do speak primarily to veterans and you know, the military, those serving the military right now. But even when I was talking, I had a conversation with my dad last night, you know, and he's been working with this job for 29 years. They're actually firing him, laying him off 11 months before he would have got his 30-year retirement. Oh, and yeah, it's AT&T, just so you guys know. But
AT&T, anyways, but.
Yeah, neither do I. Like, I go with Spectrum now anyway, so. But, you know, and you know, he's just trying to figure out what his next step is going to be. He doesn't, you know, for 29 years, this is what he's done, you know, and I was his only child, and, you know, I'm turning 30 this year, so, you know, his role as my father, he sees as like, you know, I don't have to really, you know, I'm not really a child anymore. So his identity as a father is not there anymore. And I was like, you know what? You actually sound a lot like, you know, how I felt like when I got out of the military. It's like that was the only identity I knew as an adult. And after that, it was trying to find what my next mission was going to be. And, you know, luckily, you know, Soldier Hard Jeff, he hit me up. And, you know, his idea of, you know, creating warfighter music. Now, at the time when he first brought it up, I had just got back from Iraq, and, you know, I really wasn't open to opening up. And so I told him, you know what, like, I want to make music with other vets. So, yeah, let's do this. But as far as, like, making music that is, like, about the military, like, I just want to forget it. So I'm not going to make, you know, content about my military career. And it wasn't until I found myself in, like, the worst spot in my life where I felt